Do we have any other surprise questions from our producers?
No,
I think that's it. All right. Is it time to start introducing the games? Introducing the teams.
Before though, if you guys do want to actually submit questions for next week, we'll be accepting them.
Introduce.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, it is time to introduce. That's what I thought. On the blue side today, it's going to be St. Paul's Legacy. In the top lane, it will be Mirk. Jungle, Stvn C. In the mid lane, LPJ26. On the AD carry position, it is Kooops and Aurora Riven playing support. Not usually where you see Riven.
Generally not. And on the red side, their opponents coming from the Gold Coast from TSS. In the top lane, thebestgotcha. In the jungle, CivilPig. In the mid lane, thegod. In AD carry, powerpanda. And in the support role, if I had flash.
I like these team names. I like these player names, actually. I like the confidence coming out of...
of course, yes.
Like, the god, the best. If I had flash, maybe it doesn't really fit in. That seems actually a bit more remorseful than the confidence of everyone else.
If I had flash.
Yeah, if I only had flash. But you know what? If he had flash, he would just be just as mighty as the other players.
And as we are just waiting to jump in, Chance, I will just finish what I was saying before. If you do have any burning questions about playing the game, we have an email address below in our Twitch feed. And if you want to hear it now, just email us at uquesports@gmail.com, I believe.
Yep, I believe that is what it is.
If you want to submit questions for that, you can email them in. We can email them in, and we'll get to them next. They'll be in the broadcast for next week. So
unless there's a delay, which, okay, 2 out of 2 delays. This one though, I have a good feeling that we're going to get straight through our game. There won't be any problems.
I hope so. Yeah.
I really do hope so. With 1 minute to go, it should be doing a quick look at the history of these two teams. Both of them are coming off a win after last week.
Yeah. Both teams had a win last week. Really good, strong coming in to look to climb up the standings. Of course, last week was actually a top-of-the-table battle. The winner of that would have been on top, which obviously Chisholm Chiefs took out, and now they're our #1 reigning team.
I believe they are playing against the SPCC colors this time, and whoever wins that game will be the only 3-0 team in the ladder. As I've mentioned before, the way how this tournament is being run for the group stages, it is a Swiss format, meaning that you are playing teams of equal record to, or as close to of equal record to, that is within the tournament. In the end, we'll be cutting it down to a knockout stage, but that's after 10 weeks of league. This is week 3, so there's still plenty of time to still sign up and join, actually. Like, we have not hit full capacity of teams yet.
No, we've still got, I think, 6 or 7 spots open, I believe.
There's a fair few spots. There's more than that.
Yeah, there's a
a
fair
lot
few
of
spots. So if you still want to get involved with the high school esports league tournament, get a teacher, get a group of friends, sign up, start playing. Or even if your high school's already here and you have a couple more friends that have seen this broadcast and want to get involved, make sure you hit up your teacher, try to get involved.
Exactly.
It's always great to have as many teams as possible. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit behind. Because there'll be enough weeks for you to catch up and start working.
Just win. Just join in.
It's not hard.
Just win. And here we are. Picks and bans. SPS on the blue side. It'll be interesting to see who they take off first. That first ban always sets the statement, always sets the tone of possibly giving away what your team is trying to do, and they get rid of Rengar. Interesting.
I mean, Power Panda, I don't know if it's just an issue in the Champions Select, because I was scouting them kind of beforehand. He looked like the jungler, but Rengar is one of his biggest picks.
And Blitzcrank is the next one who has been removed right there, trying to get rid of those aggressive supports. Echo taken off the field as well. That, I believe, was a pick of the best gotcha, if I recall looking it up. Unsure. These bans are flying. Alistair, the next one to go. Definitely looks as if TSS is focusing on those initiate supports.
Yeah, of course, thegod is actually like one of the Echo 1 tricks, like by far his most played champion. And LPJ 26 plays like Syndra, Ori, Zoe, which are champions that are counted pretty hard.
Let me at him.
The Jax is the next one taken out. I actually like what TSS is doing in regards to getting rid of these hard engaged supports, because Aurora Riven, on paper, is the best player on SPS, and so they're targeting his playmaking supports, trying to make it so that the best player can't be the one initiating the best fights. So those are very smart bans. Quinn taken away last, though. A bit of a surprise on that one because it goes away from what we just said. Nice, safe Psy on top.
Yeah, I mean, Mirk up in the top lane is playing there today. He's pretty much plays Quinn, Scion, champions like that. So he's obviously being up very safe in the top lane. I do find it interesting that that St. Paul's are playing Aurora Riven in the support role. He is like a Platinum 2 player.
Yep.
He's a Riven 1 trick, which is maybe why they rotate him around for champion pool reasons. But I do love the Nico lock-in by TSS.
Followed by an Olaf really quickly. TSS definitely seems to know what they want. They're locking in their champs very fast, and we're seeing the Shaco hover. Stvn C is a bit of a Shaco 1 trick, and it is locked in, so this is his prime champion. That Shaco juggle, it can be triggering if you do not know how to handle it, as we are taking a look at the Galio hover at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Galio in the mid lane is one of the champions I've seen LJP practice in the scrimmers, but he's one of the champions not as good mid lane anymore, better support champion now. Vladimir, though, is a much better lock-in. I do like that. Yeah. More so played on the top side. Obviously, could be flexed around with the silence on mid is quite common as well.
Yeah, I still think this is going to be a Vladimir in mid lane. It almost looks as if SPS is looking to lock in their positions as they go down. That usually can mean small champion pools on the players, which some of these teams have run into. Thresh locked in, so there's a good initiating support out there, good early game lane pressure coming out for TSS.
Yeah, I mean, Thresh is one of those champions in the bot lane. You pair it up with a really strong AD carry, can really get you some leads early on. You see players like Smoothie and Aframos dominate with them in the past, and if I had Flash, can land some hooks when they don't have Flash down on the enemy team. Could definitely swing the match in his favor for his AD carry.
Interesting seeing the Kai'Sa ban there. I almost feel like Kai'Sa would be a champion that TSS would want to let through if they're going to be focusing more on an early mid-game centric strategy. However, an Ezreal ban from SPS, that seems to make more sense with what's going on.
I mean, CivilPig in the AD carry, one of his most played is the Kai'Sa. I mean, obviously they bend it out for themselves, but Kooops as well plays a lot of Kai'Sa Vayne Jinx, so these late game kind of style carries. They have a lot of late game team fight scaling with obviously the Vladimir and the Scion as well up on the top side. So really you need to make sure they're not allowing them to get like through those later stages of the game. And
Lucian ban as well, so a lot of AD carry bans coming out there. Lucian goes in. The last ban will actually be Ryze. I mean, with the Ryze, I guess they're worried that
Ryze is good because it's a double flex build.
It is a double
Nico can go top as well with the on-hit build. Not as strong as it used to be. Did get nerfed a little bit, but Nico is still very strong full AP build, can go mid lane. I've been playing a little bit of her in my solo queue. Very similar to the Zoe I like to play as well.
And powerpanda's hovering the Garen. This is one of those champions you highlighted before, but instead switches to the Nasus. So there's some late game scaling right there.
I don't like Nasus anymore. He doesn't really fit into comps. Obviously Kooops as well picking up his most played champion, the Jinx. Just SPS picking in role order here, just picking for themselves, I presume.
Yeah. I mean,
I actually see the Jinx did get through the pick ban stage though.
I mean, well, Kai'Sa and Lucian I feel are stronger AD carries at the moment. Jinx is kind of a lesser Kai'Sa in terms of when she wants to peak, and unfortunately doesn't have that same ability.
Jinx does have a better win rate though in pro play.
Well, there you go. So maybe a bit of a lucky sort of stars aligning. Although I just imagine Kai'Sa's played a lot more, so that could stabilize.
I think Kai'Sa has 12 games. Jinx has 6. Kai'Sa has a 30.
That's double.
No, Kai'Sa has a 43% win rate. Jinx has 80% win rate in games of League.
Okay.
Well, if you ever want to find stats from programs, go to Games of Legend. That's where I get most of my meta stats from.
Leona was the support to go with Jinx.
Yeah, heavy engaged support in the bot lane. Obviously, Aurora Riven, one of the better players we have today, and so as a result, can definitely see her trying to take over a game.
And Orianna is the last pick for TSS. I believe that will be an Orianna mid, which the Nasus going top, as we cut back to ourselves. So, taking a look at these team compositions, who do you believe won the pick command phase?
I think I like SPS's comp a lot better. The Scion, Shaco, Vladimir, Jinx, and the Leona as well have a very nice team fight comp. All the champions kind of synergize together. Shaco is a little bit out of whack, but Stvn C is a Shaco one trick in the jungle. He's obviously a mid lane main, but he plays mid lane, and then Shaco is his second most played champion. So just pure comfort for him, which is what you want in these kind of lower elo games where meta's not as important. So I do expect them. They have a much nicer comp build here, where the TSS comp is a little bit all over the place. The champions don't make sense together, but they have very strong champions. They have like the Nico's very strong. They've got Orianna as well, who's quite strong as well.
Orianna is very, very strong.
I mean, it is Nico AD carry, which is going to be that on-hit press the attack build, which isn't. It did get hotfixed this patch, so it's not super strong, but it's still definitely viable to play. I still think the full AP is better, but in the bot lane you do need to go for that AD Nico build, which is still very, very strong. And the reason why it is like super strong is mainly because Nico's able to self-peel with the E as well. And because you get the movement speed from the W, once you get the Rage Blade, you're getting movement speed every second auto. So you just have perma-kiting, and the amount of damage comes off is absolutely ridiculous with the pen you get from the Rage Blade.
I also, to give TSS, I believe, a bit more props. The Nasus pick at first, when I was thinking about like, oh, this could be a disaster, but Scion is one of the safer lanes, I feel, for Nasus to be able to farm and be able to get those Q stacks up. This could turn into a problem for the blue side, because unless they put pressure on this Nasus, Scion, in theory, should not be able to do it on his own. He's going to need that Shaco help.
It just depends how well that TSS can play around that 4-1 split push. Obviously having Nico on that, sorry, not Nico, having Olaf in that side lane means they're going to be very reliant on that 4-man unit sticking together. Because they've got, the reason why I say their draft was really bad, they got, Nasus, which is a very clear late game split push, win the game that way, versus someone like, then they've got the Nico, the Orianna, I can't remember if they got support, would have been Thresh support.
It was Thresh support,
and then Olaf jungle. So like Orianna and Nico, that's like team fight mid lane, can perma clear waves, right? Still out the game. You got Thresh for engage, which doesn't really synergize with they're not really team fight engage. Thresh is more of a pick engage.
Yeah.
Doesn't really synergize with the Nico or Oreo because they don't have like Orianna who kind of insane burst damage. They have a lot of damage, but Nico's damage mainly comes from her ultimate and then obviously just sustained through the autos with her W because she'll not be leveling up Q until later into the game.
There is wombo potential there though, because you can throw the Orianna ball on either Olaf or the Thresh. Like if the Thresh gets
but
the
it's just not as if the engage isn't as like clear and obvious as like a Sion ulti or a Leona ulti.
No, it's definitely not as clear cut.
And I don't think that either of those champions synergize with the Nass in the sideline. If they wanted to play a split push comp, you want to have another champion in your team, at least one that has some other global presence. Or you need a team comp that's able to provide like a 1-3-1, so you split push pressure on both sides. Because I feel like this Nasus is going to get isolated very often and picked off because you can either just send like the 5-man up to deal with the Nasus, or you engage into this 4-man squad with very little disengage besides the Nico ultimate. So once that Nico ultimate's down, which is actually fantastic disengage, that's what you use it for in the Nico 80 carry. When people jump on top of you, just press R and you keep cutting them, and they can't do anything to you. But yeah, so I think it's just not a very good draft from TSS. They can still pull it off.
Yeah. They very much can still pull it off. I'm almost wondering if you're being a little bit too harsh. I mean, I'm not saying that what you're saying is invalid.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, though, from TSS is that I do see this win con because a lot of it revolves around this Olaf. I think if Olaf can get going early in a teamfight situation, you throw the Orianna ball onto the Olaf, he gets right into the Jinx's face. There's nothing they can do to stop that just because of the champion. Jinx gets popped. Where does the damage come from? From the side, from the blue side. I get late game Vlad, but I'm talking more mid game.
I mean, I suppose there is definitely a window there, but I just think the Scion works with the comps just drafted completely better. Yeah. But I do think obviously TSS can still win the game. You know, there's obviously it's not a high level competitive game, so draft isn't as important. I just think that it's very important to have easy to execute strategies, and in this kind of game, their strategy is much harder to execute.
100%, I do agree. The blue side strategy is very easy, very clear cut. As you said, clear cut engages is the best way for a simple strategy. For those of you at home taking notes, if you want a simple strategy, you pick 1 or 2 champions with engage, 1 or 2 champions for pure damage, and say, all right, when we team fight, the engagers are in front, the fighters are in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
And you play front to back.
Because it is just much easier to play these battle comps where it's just literally very, very simple, very clear to execute win conditions and strategies. And so if you are going to play this tournament, you're watching it, like definitely look for those like Zax, Silence champions like this, so you can just run in with the ball and destroy everybody. We are going to jump onto the Rift.
Something that SBS has, and we are on to the Rift. Here we go, everyone. It is week 3 of the Queensland High School Championship. St. Paul's Legacy versus the Southport School, aka SPL versus TSS. And right away, it actually takes a look. St. Paul was moving together as a group. They could have possibly been looking for an invade. Nope, they're going to fan out. Okay, so they do fan out. We're seeing pretty standard starts, a traditional spread. No craziness, no invades. Actually, the best gotcha is just going straight to lane right away, not really guarding the top side of his jungle. It could have been an opening, but St. Paul says it's not going to take it.
The one thing that the TSS do have is they have very hard winning lanes. The Orianna is a traditional counter to the Vladimir, because the way you want to play Vladimir lanes is you want to just outpoke them, and you want to make sure you do deal more damage to him than he can heal off, which with the Ori ball, the Q plus the stacking autos, of course the Orianna passive, means that this Vladimir is going to be struggling in this lane, and if you play it right with Orianna, you can space correctly, the Vladimir is going to get put behind quite significantly. Obviously Nico Thresh in the bot lane, once the Nico lands the root, the hook's quite easy to land afterwards, and you can kind of stomp that way, especially on this low mobility Jinx, and this Leona has very little disengage versus the Thresh that can obviously fly away the...
Something that I really like though, and this is, to bring back to the jungle a bit, something that's a huge advantage too on St. Paul's Legacy with the Stvn on the Shaco jungle, he does not need a leash, so he's going to be starting on his own, which kind of masks which side he'll be starting on. Yeah. Whereas Southport...
I mean, Olaf's not supposed to have a leash either. Generally when you play Olaf, you want to slow down your buffs, because Olaf's passive means he gets higher attack speed and lifesteal when he's on low health. So you want to be really low when you clear. Versus having a leash. Exactly,
and this is what you see the example of that because Olaf had that leash. His clear was actually a bit slower than Stvn, so CivilPig at 2 seconds behind. I mean, it's not the largest deal, but it is something that could become relevant later. As it stands, I mean, I doubt we're going to be seeing many kills early unless someone missteps.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's more like the biggest thing about this jungle matchup that you brought up interestingly is the Shaco does get like the Shaco pick here doesn't.
Oh, the best gotcha actually getting knocked up in a bit of trouble there. Yeah. He's already chunked down to half. That's a bit of a surprise to see Mirk having that much of a lane advantage.
Come straight back up again.
Sure.
But yeah, so in the jungle matchup, so the reason why Shaco functions so well is Shaco wants to obviously invade, where Olaf wants to power clear. So since this Olaf can just power clear his entire jungle, it means he's going to be able to pick up this farm a lot faster than the Shaker will be able to come and path into him. And because they have the Shaker has losing lanes traditionally, means he won't have priority, which means his laners can't come and help him when he goes for invades, which means he's more stuck to clearing his side of the jungle, and he can't go for those invades unless he's pathing really cleverly.
Which is the key point of Shaco, is you want to be getting those
Exactly.
invades.
But I feel like it's much harder for him to execute, which means this Olaf, who just wants to power clear and will clear much faster than the Shaco in the 1v1, means could get really far ahead and start soloing it out of control.
Oh, Death Sentence actually connecting right there onto Aurora Riven, and Aurora Riven's in trouble. Flash has to be dropped, but an exhaust was used from If I Had Flash. One more auto would do it. Flash forward from If I Had Flash. Flash forward from the Power Panda as well. Heal going to be used, and Aurora Riven should be able to walk away safely. Flayed back is Kooops, though. Kooops to be in trouble. He's snared in place. The Death Sentence connects, and there will not be your first blood because Kooops still had Flash as well. If only I had Flash. If only I had 2 flashes, maybe that would have been a kill.
And that 7 summoners burnt down in the bot lane. That's a huge play. That's why you see that Nico Thresh combo is works so well together. Once you land either the Tangle Barbs or the Death Sentence there from the Thresh, the follow-up CC is so much easier to land, and there's just nothing you can do when you're perma locked down like that.
There is not. Something to note in the top lane, actually, and this could be a bit of a concern for TSS. The Best Gotcha has been hit by every single one of Sion's knockups so far.
Yeah, if the Sion's playing it correctly, once you get the Roar of the Slayer, which is the E from Sion, of course, you can't actually dodge the Q because the slow's enough to keep you inside it. So the Nasus can't dodge it if he's getting hit by those E's. He has to dodge those E's before he dodges those Qs.
Exactly. It's already health pots being used by the Best Gotcha as Mirk still sitting on his. So lane advantage very much on the side of St. Paul's Legacy in the top lane. However, CivilPig is in the area. It'll be interesting to see if TSS tries to make a play here. The river, as you can see, is warded, so I doubt it would be very successful.
Yeah.
So a bit unfortunate for TSS.
I mean, one thing, it's very interesting to see Thresh has picked up Exhaust here for a summoner spell. I think in this lane with the Nico Thresh, especially knowing that the other team has late game scaling in teamfighting, you see Orianna.
Yeah, Orianna
doing
so
good into the Vladimir there because the Vladimir just can't heal it back. But yeah, the Nico and the Thresh should be looking for kills in that lane. If they had Ignite, they would have definitely picked up a kill on the Leona there because the exhaust wasn't able to get her down. She was able to wear it out and get away. If that was an Ignite, it would have gotten a kill, which would have been a huge lead for them.
It would have been a kill with the Ignite. Also interesting that the God was sitting in lane. Yeah, he had the health, but he was on such low mana. That's why LJP felt the need he could step up and abuse right there, but actually got punished for it. That said, though, LJP has not backed yet, so that could be a potential gank opportunity, except instead the God is going to back because of no mana, so never mind. Olaf was also nowhere near. It would have been nice if Olaf had been around, because that could have been a kill for TSS to get that first blood.
Yeah, I mean, I think Orianna here is like really, like the Vladimirs are really
Zenithblade connects onto Power Panda. The Flayed misses as well, and Aurora Riven is trying to stay on that Nico, but...
If you had Tango Bads, then the Leona would have really been in trouble there because that Slola armor would have worn off and she would have gotten chunked out really hard.
I feel like there's not enough damage yet coming out of St. Paul's in order to really play aggressive at this stage against.
They don't really have to though, right? Because they got like late game win condition. I think
exactly.
They're up in CS in pretty much all their lanes, so that's a huge thing for them. It's kind of a factor we can see. Thresh is taking up minion waves.
Yeah, Thresh is taking the minion waves. If I had Flash, really just trying to kind of shove the bot lane under tower. The reason being for that was CivilPig was doing a bit of an invade at the time. I believe he was looking to get deep vision or maybe try and find Stvn. As another Death Sentence catch, this time Aurora Riven will turn it around. So yeah, I believe that was aggressive posturing in order to help protect the Olaf who was invading. However, there was nothing for the Olaf to invade. He actually didn't even drop any deep vision wards, so a bit of a misstep there from CivilPig. That could have been good into further plays in the future. Instead, all what happened if I had Flash just took a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really walk up into those minion waves like that this early on. It's really hard to kind of do anything if you get...
Aurora Riven says they connect. Oh, what a flay by If I Had Flash. Good reaction timing from the Thresh to keep himself alive. The support from Southport School is really trying hard to make plays and kind of show off. Both supports actually playing very aggressive. Death Sentence connects onto the right target. The target was Kooops, however, it's Aurora Riven who gets hit with the Tangle Bunch. Here comes the Death Blade. If I Had Flash might be the target. 1 or 2 more autos will bring him down, and there he goes. First blood going over to Kooops. This could be a double as well. Power Panda, 1, 2. Nope, the tower will keep it safe with the zap. Zappity zap zap. Kooops, a double kill for St. Paul's Legacy, and huge advantage for the blue side. And here comes Olaf. CivilPig is trying to get something, a bit of retribution, but does not connect with the axe. It might not matter though. Yeah, the smite will secure the kill actually, as it looked as Aurora Riven was trying to run by some time for Kooops. He knew he was going down. So 1 kill back on the side for Southport, but in the end, advantage still to St. Paul's Legacy. A double kill on that Jinx, that's scary.
Obviously, the Thresh from that minion wave before got chunked out really low and means he couldn't contest these the minion wave.
Ooh, here we go. Here comes Shaco. The target is the God. Stvn C getting a lot of damage. Orianna ult is not going to do enough as Vlad's Sanguine Pool is, not Sanguine Pool, Vlad's ultimate was there, helped secure the kill. Another kill for St. Paul's.
Yeah, I mean, the Hemo Plague there was absolutely strong.
Yep. And the God. Wow, interesting flash. Yeah, Mirk, I thought, had that kill, actually. The best gotcha got him a bit with that flash, was able to get back safely under the tower.
I mean, there's just huge CS leads over in all the lanes. They like just not being on CS. Like the Orianna should be much higher up in CS in the Vladimir lane. And you see another.
Yeah, that's actually a very large differential. About 20 CS difference for LJP on St. Paul's Legacy. It's going to be tough for Orianna to come back in this already. Like 1 kill down, experience down as well, CS down. I'd like to see the gold if possible, just so we can take a look at how much of a gold differential we're seeing in both the mid and the top lane as well as Mirk.
I think it'd be roughly like 400 gold top, 500, 600 mid. Oh, a bit more than that, maybe like 600 gold mid.
Zenith Blade connecting on If I Had Flash, the Flay only connects on 1. Here comes the ultimate from Leona as well. This is a very dead Thresh. He is going to flash because he has it this time, but is it going to be enough to escape? The answer is no. It's stun connects, and Kooops picks up his 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah, and the bot lane Kooops and that famous Jinx, his most played champion by far. They let him have it, and he's showing them why he's absolutely dominating this bot lane. Thresh just keeps getting caught out and falls down once again. It's going to be very hard for TSS to kind of come back into this game once this Jinx start getting her item and start scaling. You know, when you're that scaling team, when you've identified, I win condition is to play safe early, get CS leads, if you maybe can survive lane phase, get your items, and then they're already this far ahead, it makes it so hard if you're trying to force them out without that advantage.
Exactly that. As we have a bit of a gank happening in the top lane. The target is Mirk. CivilPig is here. Not a lot of damage being thrown very quickly, but still, there's nowhere for Mirk to go. He should fall. Flashing. What a flash over the wall, and the unstoppable force comes through. He's going to be fine. Good flash. That is a high-risk flash.
The unstoppable onslaught there from the Sign getting out of there. It's so good. And the Ragnarok as well for the Olaf didn't have the speed to catch up. I just noticed Olaf has Grasp of the Undying. Which is a very interesting summoner spell for a jungler. I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, for a jungle Olaf especially.
If you don't know what Grasp of the Undying is, you can only stack it when you're autoing champions, and you only get it after 4 autos. So you generally... I don't think you'll proc it in the jungle, like, ever, really.
No. It's purely for... I feel like that's just purely for ganks and team fights, I guess, because he's expecting to be the front line.
I mean, it could have been a mistake, obviously. Like, you make errors in runes, of course.
I guess. I feel like it's because CivilPig is expecting to be the front line. If Nasus is split pushing a side lane, he's the only one who's going to be standing in front and taking everything. So I imagine that's to give him a bit more survivability.
I mean, guarding or something. Yeah, I don't know.
But if that's what your strategy is, I almost feel like you'd want to play a different jungler.
Yes.
I feel Sejuani actually would have been really, really good for Southport.
Yeah, Sejuani would have been really nice.
Sejuani would have been.
I think Nocturne as well would have been a great pick as well. Synergize as well with the Ori Ball. Because obviously Nico Ultimate isn't really for engagement.
If I Had Flash could be in trouble. The ultimate from Aurora Riven connects. The Zenith Blade as well. He is held in place. And with Shaco arriving, Stvn C is going to help secure some kills. Kooops picks up his 4th of the game as the poor Power Panda is left on his own. Cannot do much against that.
And no Pop Blossom either. So Power Panda is going to be very, very scared now in this lane with nowhere to self-peel himself once the Shaco jumps on top.
It will turn to a Mountain Drake, actually, for St. Paul's Legacy, as both Stvn C and Aurora Riven are rotating to that dragon. Kooops doesn't need to, and oh boy, ultimate drop from Nasus. This could be a... Mirk might turn it, but no, he's trying to teleport out. He's going for the teleport play, and he gets away!
What a play by the Sign, teleporting into the mid lane tower, knows he has enough health, enough tankiness on that Sign to get away. And he's able to not go down, as we see maybe
the God actually stepping up to the dragon. He thought maybe he'd be able to disrupt it, and now he's in a bad situation. It's 3v1. The clone goes down, and the ultimate from Kooops secures yet another kill. 5 kills on this Jinx, and we aren't even 12 minutes in.
This is a huge lead for SPS. Like, there's going to be so difficult for TSS to come back in this game. Just Vladimir's thrashing ahead of this mid lane as well. You've got the late game carrying the Jinx is going to be enabled before the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very, very scary if you're a Southport School fan.
At this pace, it almost seems as if Kooops might be like enabled at the 20-minute mark, which is nightmare fuel for Southport as they are looking to regroup now in the ball lane, but I'm not sure what they can really do.
I mean, I think at this point, the Southport School got to make sure they deny this Rift Tower. They need to get this Rift Tower and get some tower plating gold down in one of the lanes with it. Because if they're unable to do that and they start falling behind on these lanes, or St. Paul's is able to crack a turret in the mid lane, for example, they can move their bot lane up there. It's going to be very, very scary for TSS to try to come back.
It's going to be a big back for Kooops. I'm very curious to see what he buys right now.
Insta-IE, right?
Yeah, I imagine
maybe BF Sword and, what's it called? Cutlass. Unless they do the... I mean, one thing AE carries have still been doing, because they've been going back to that old traditional build, which they never really should have done, is you go BF Zeal, and then you go into your IE and then Hurricanes on the Jinx, which I don't... Personally, I think it's better to rush your IE, get your Hurricanes, and then get more damage.
No
like
completed
BT or
items,
something
actually,
like
though, for Kooops. Got the BF sword.
Yeah.
Finished the boots, but no real completed items.
She's going to get an extra dagger in there. I don't know what that's for.
Yeah.
I think that might have been obviously a misclick, or she's going to build towards that Zeal later. She should be sitting on a bit of gold as well, and she's got a stopwatch in there, so her inventory's a little bit full.
I mean, if you compare that to the damage coming out of powerpanda at the moment, we take a look at the gold differential, already nearly a 2K gold lead
just in the bot
for
side alone.
Kooops alone. That is horrifying, and I feel as if, yeah, like it doesn't matter if there's no completed item on Kooops, it's still doing much more damage than the Cutlass. Ultimate from Aurora Riven goes down. It only slows if I had flash, but that could be all he needs. Here we go. The box is dropped. I don't see if, yeah, they weren't going to be able to get it that time. Not enough follow-up was there, unfortunately, just yet. However, that is still lane in complete control for St. Paul's Legacy.
Yeah, the forced to recall now. They should be able to get a couple platings off this as well.
The God in a bit of trouble in mid lane. Nope, in the end he will be fine. Actually, I believe he sniffed out that gank and was able to run to the safety of the top side, despite CivilPig being on the bot side at the time.
Yeah, of course, Oriana,
they might dive. Are they going to dive?
I think it's just go for Trail Fate. You need to kill. It's not worth his full gold because he's died a little bit already. Just get the 2 plantings and the Jinx. That's as much gold as the kill itself.
In the top line, the best gotcha still having a very hard time against Mirk Scion. Not something I expected looking at this matchup. So kudos to Mirk. He's playing this lane very, very well right now. A level down and still just able to abuse the best gotcha, who looks to be rushing an Iceborne Gauntlet. I almost would have liked to see more tank out of the best gotcha, who drops the ultimate, and with a couple tower shots, he might actually go for it. The Wither comes down. Mirk is going to turn this one around, though. These health bars are going to low. This will be a fight to the death. I think Sion's going to get this, so Sion has to flash, but the follow-up flash is there from best gotcha. Will he be able to get the kill? And the answer is yes, but can he get away from the Sion passive? Mirk trying to chase him down. He will not be able to get there, so Nass is picking up a good kill. The best has gotcha this time, Mirk.
Yeah, Sion taking a couple extra tower shots.
Oh, no, here comes Steven. Here comes the Shaco. He has both buffs. He has damage, but will he get the kill? The answer is very clearly yes. Stvn C gets that return kill. And in the bot lane, it's a bit of a 3v2, but they're going anyways. Kooops has the damage. Aurora Riven taking so much, but not falling down. Finally, no! PowerPanda's not going to be again until he flashes forward. The Ignite was dropped, and there it is. That Lust Auto picks up the kill. But Kooops has just been going to town on the God, who's going to get away on almost nothing. If I had flash plays Kooops back in, but at the cost of his life, so Kooops does return one. So it's a 1-for-1 at the end in the bot lane. Here comes LJP to try and see what he can do, but in the end, no, there's nothing there, as the rest of Southport will back off. So St. Paul's turning a 2v4 into a 1-for-1 kill. That is a win in this bot lane. 6 kills now on the Kooops.
Yeah, Jinx now picking up the IE as well, so she's super far ahead of her counterpart, the Nico. I mean, Nico's got his balk completed. Once he gets the rage, that's really when this champion comes online. But I think it might be a little bit too little too late for the Nico and TS as a whole. But there's obviously a really nice play from them. Obviously, proactive, getting 4 people down the bot lane, trying to shut down this Jinx. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do it because it was really well played by Aurora and Kooops there to stay alive. Obviously, proccing the Get Excited passive as well to run away. Just at the end there as a turret plate, he does fall eventually. Well, not turret, the turret only fell a couple of minutes ago. But I mean, this Nasus in the top lane is like one of the. I mean, generally Sion does actually win the matchup.
Yes. Here we go. CivilPig though is going to come and try and help out the best gotcha. Mirk has been in this position before. Last time he flashed over the wall successfully, but this time he does not have flash. So he's going to go for the double knockup. Doesn't actually get it. Mirk will fall. The question is, who will they give the kill to? The answer will be the Olaf this time, as both members of Southport get away. So a little bit of a small victory right there. CivilPig gets a kill. Actually getting shot quite low by Mirk, who's running him down the river and right into LJP, but LJP does not want to commit against that Olaf. It did appear as if the God was in position to follow up Rome, so that would have been a dead Vladimir if that had gone through.
Yeah, of course, Vladimir looking to try and pick up a kill on that escaping Olaf, but I mean, going on the top side for Sion is sad, but at the same time it's a tank. It doesn't really matter what you go.
Making himself known in the mid lane. The God's going to go for it. There's the Sanguine Pool this time. Ball does not quite connect. Hemoplague is not going to go down. Yeah.
Super strong there from the Vladimir. I mean, he's building towards his proto belt already. He's going to have a lot of damage coming down. Shaco? No.
No, Shaco does. There's nothing. Oh my God, the ultimate is actually going to connect on Stvn C, but who could flash away safely. It actually looks like St. Paul's is going to engage on this, perhaps. I mean, that Shaco ultimate does quite a bit of damage there to CivilPig, but there's no real follow through. It's a bit too risky for both sides, I feel, who don't want that need to commit, but Stvn C is still lurking in the wings. He's still going to go for it. The God has full health, but there's still health bars on St. Paul's as well. Here comes the fight, and my gosh, the God just gets melted. Kill going over to Stvn C.
Yeah, Shaco has so much down when she packs that backstab as well, and then the Hemoplague didn't have to, wait, the Vladimir had the empowered Q and walked up on the empowered Q, so he didn't have to use the Hemoplague either to secure that kill.
And that actually might be a Mountain Drake to St. Paul's Legacy. It will be secured, but here comes more for them, St. Paul's as well. So if Blade gets onto that back line, the target will be powerpanda, who should fall right after a fight flash. So it's both the bot lane going down for Southport School. Fortunately, CivilPig had flash and was able to flash away to safety, but another 2 kills and a dragon for St. Paul's Legacy. This is starting to turn into a snowball.
Yeah, Jinx is just so far out. They landed the hook, but the Leona, landed the solar flare on both of the members, got that stun instantly, so they couldn't capitalize on the death sentence that landed onto the Jinx, and then Kooops just again, wait, you tried to hit me? Oh well,
yeah.
Goodbye, I have an Infinity Edge, I'm a Jinx.
Exactly that.
And just run through these towers with that passive.
And this Jinx is just going to be getting scarier and scarier. This is so much turned into the Kooops show at this stage, because although they haven't actually gotten that bot tower yet, I feel like they should just get that bot tower down and out of the way and start moving Kooops and Aurora Riven around the map and just taking complete control of the entire rift.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what we're seeing now is obviously 2 Mountain Drakes as well into St. Paul's,
yes.
so everything's just going to get melted. But you know, St. Paul's here, I think TSS made a poor draft choice in terms of banning out those 2 supports, because the Stvn C and Kooops both have their 1-tricks in the Shaco and the Jinx. Because if you can get these champions, especially if you're competing here or looking to play in like low elo tournaments, one of the best strategies to do is you just find that
Mirk might be in trouble as thegod has roamed up the top lane. The Orianna Ball does a bit of damage, but with no ultimate there, yeah, they can't get him. So safely for Mirk.
Yeah, so as also...
powerpanda just got caught. Zen's Blade follow-up is there, and just powerpanda with the Leona sitting on just can't get anywhere as Kooops is rocket after rocket, more and more damage. LJP is coming down as well, as if I had flashes to the next target, another Zen's Blade connects. Oh, Kooops with the ultimate snipes off powerpanda off screen as if I had flash falls as well. Another 2 kills for St. Paul's Legacy going to the bot side. It was actually LJP who picked up the kill on if I had flash, but it does not matter. This is a 7-0-3 Jinx, and we are not even 20 minutes in.
Yeah, this Jinx is going to rampage once we get to these last team fights. She's so huge now, and the only way back in this game for TSS is getting these shutdowns. But again, like Kooops has his 1-trick, Stevens has his 1-trick, so it's just so hard to not...
Olaf has to use Ragnarok in order to escape Aurora Riven. That would have been another pick and another kill going over to Kooops. And as you're saying, they gave up the power picks, and now they're being punished for it. This is what we talked about before the meta started. Like, sometimes the meta doesn't matter. If you can excel on your comfort champion and play them to their peak potential, you can take over a game. Yeah,
Kooops and Stvn have just so much comfort on these 2 champions, and you can just see Kooops in knowing all the damages, knowing where to put it exactly. Well, they banned out Aurora's champion pool, which is like, they banned out Alistar and Braum, and Leona and Alistar are very, very similar champions. There isn't like a big difference, and if you are going to target a support, obviously she's the highest rated player, but she's playing opposition as well. So if you are going to target out these players, it's just better to get these 1-tricks, these low elo players off their 1-tricks, so they're struggling a little bit more before they have to play.
It was that last ban that I questioned, because I did enjoy the first 2 bans. I thought they were good getting rid of the Alistar and I believe Braum.
Yeah.
Was it Braum?
I'm pretty sure it's Braum.
No, it was another initiating support. And oh my gosh, that flash over the wall doesn't matter. The Solar Flare will kind of connect on if I had flash. He's still going to be the target.
Tangle Bobs.
Ooh, good Tangle Bobs. Oh, the ultimate actually coming out from Jake the Super Mega Death Rocket, not going to do nearly enough damage. It was Blitzcrank. It was Blitzcrank, and it was Alistar. It was just these 2 hard initiate supports, but you missed the 3rd one, the Leona. Exactly, you let that one get through, and Aurora Riven, as I was saying in the picks and bans, you want to stop the playmaking ability of the best player on the team. That appeared to be the strategy, but they let the Leona through. And they're kind of suffering for it a bit in the bot side. That said, if they can get that pick onto Kooops, find that 1 team fight and somehow get powerpanda kills on Kooops, LJP, and Stvn C, I mean, that would get Southport back in.
I mean, with the Pop Blossom as well, the Nico has huge AoE ultimate. If they engage and they get too close to it, get caught up in that stun, it could be definitely
Here we go. This could be a fight. Stvn C has his eyes on if I had flashes. The Death Sentence actually connects onto Leona, but Thrush is already dead before it finishes. And what hit Zen's Blade max range. The ultimate for Orianna is not going to do much. Down goes the God. That's Sion picking up that kill as they keep moving forward. powerpanda is the target, but Nico does seem fast enough to escape. Ooh, 3 roots connected there. Olaf trying to throw an axe for good measure, and then drops Ragnarok as the rest of St. Paul's gives him a little glance. CivilPig wanting none of that will get away. 2 more kills, though, for St. Paul's Legacy, and the snowball, I think, may continue. We could be seeing a 22-minute Baron if they get this tower and then rotate up. CivilPig standing around. He is really
next tower here. They're going to get excited on the Jinx.
Yeah.
No, they'll just back off. And
they're just going to back off. Okay, yeah. They're just going to keep on keeping on right now.
With double mountain, they're just shredding these towers. Absolutely shredding them.
That they are. And now they'll get turned away as if I flash shows up, actually gets the death sentence onto Mirk. LJP at half health, but yeah, there's too much disengage right now. St. Paul's Legacy should be able to walk away. CivilPig has to be very careful. If he overextends, they could just turn and kill this Olaf, who does not have Ragnarok at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so far ahead now, this St. Paul's team. They drafted for late game. They've hit these huge item leads, and now it's just very, very hard for TSS to try to execute this 4-1 strategy they drafted for themselves.
A 3rd Mountain Drake. 3 Mountain Drakes up for grabs for St. Paul's Legacy, but they're playing the Death Push instead, and they may have caught CivilPig. Nope, they're actually going to concede this one. Not looking for the fight just yet.
They need to reset, spin their gold, and get back. I still don't think, even if they give up 1 Mountain Drake, they're just so far ahead.
They want that third one, though. I think they're going to make the play for it.
I hope they do. It makes it more exciting for us.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the play for it because just the idea of 3 Mountain Drakes on a scaling comp that's ahead at the 25-minute mark is just too good to pass up. And yep, they've got control of the Dragon Pit, and they are getting that 3rd Mountain Drake. St. Paul's Legacy, this is their rift. Southport, it is your job to take it from them. I wish you luck because it is going to be a hard task ahead as they back away for now. So,
yeah, the 3rd Mountain Drake picked up, which means they'll be literally doing, not 100%, they'll be doing, I think it's 26 or 27% true damage.
Another death push walk for CivilPig, but he has a lot of damage. LJP actually almost going down. Singling Pool keeps him alive. A wonderful lantern by If I Had Flesh gets CivilPig out safely. Ragnarok had to be used as well, just so to make sure he would get that. Once again, Ragnarok has only been used defensively this game just because of the game sake, and that is really unfortunate because I'm almost positive the plan was death ball CivilPig. Have him run to the back line and pop off.
I mean, we kind of discussed earlier, it's better to have better engage tools than the Olaf running with the Ragnarok. Since it's very, even though he has Ragnarok, it's still interruptible by, stuff like Scion getting in the way, or Jinx can just run backwards from him at the same time. I don't know, there's just better things to do than the pop your, what's it called? Go fast armor item.
Righteous Glory?
Righteous Glory. Good we got that right this time, yeah. So the Righteous Glory on the Olaf can just run straight in and disrupt the team fight that way is probably the only way to engage, but obviously he hasn't built that item either, so.
Yeah, no, he has actually gone for the magic resist, a bit fearful. I actually feared Visage, of LJP, but LJP is the one who might actually be caught out right now. Great segment pool. There comes
3
the
man.
ultimate, and with the Zhonya's pop as well, they're going to turn this around, and LJP is going to get out alive. Here comes St. Paul's Legacy. The target is actually the god who's quite low. Ignite was dropped, but he will be able to get away. In the front line down goes the Thresh with Nasus to fall next. 2 kills, and Kooops wants more. Will this be the double? CivilPig is just getting railed on the zap connected for the slow. That is the 3rd kill. Mirk picking that up. 3 more down for Southport School, and this could be game. Yeah. They could just seize it straight up the middle and try to end.
That was such well played by Vladimir. Obviously, I got caught out by overstepping a little bit, but he's so far ahead and just so much healing on this Vladimir. Got a 3-man Hema plague as well, is able to use the Zhonya's to
powerpanda is trying to recall as fast as possible. At the moment, it is only the god standing alone.
I don't think they can do anything. I think they just died to Leona.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
going to back off, get Baron, reset. I mean, spend even more of that gold that they just earned. They're now sitting on over a 1K gold lead. That might be a 3rd item actually for Kooops, and that is, peak Jinx time at 25 minutes in. I was off by 5 minutes. I thought it was going to be possible for a 20-minute this time. That's okay. This is St. Paul's game to lose right now.
I mean, Jinx comes on. When she gets the Infinity Edge plus the Hurricanes, that's when she really just becomes on.
Going to try to steal. He's going to go for it. The hook goes down, connects onto Vladimir LJP, and he's going in. Will he get the flight? No, he will not. It will be smite secured by Mr. Stvn C, and Thresh will die for his troubles as well. A worst case scenario for Southport.
If they get ace, they could instantly lose the game. They got to back off, cut their losses. Yep. Just try to sustain, make sure they don't die to the in-him push. And it's going to be, I hope SBC, all they have to do is now just rotate to the bot lane, start shoving that in, make sure they got pressure in the top side, and then...
Pings are coming down on the bot side as well. That is their plan.
If they just 5-man bot, they'll just win automatically, because they can just sit there with the Baron, they wait for it to stall out. The Super Minion is going to push in mid for them, they're going to get pressure on their turrets. Someone's going to have to answer them, they engage in a 4v5 with the Leona or with the Scion, and it's pretty much game over from there. They will be doing a 4-1 split though.
It does look,
Scion almost has Tippy up there, so I can understand what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Mirk will be able to teleport into the fight by the time they get to lane, so it's just a matter of closing this game out. It's one of the key points I brought up at the start of this entire tournament back in week 1, which is I feel the best teams in this tournament are going to be the ones who know how to close and finish games.
Yeah.
St. Paul's Legacy, you're on stream right now. It's your time to show us how do you close and finish a 1.2K gold advantage with Baron and 3 Mountain Drakes. This should be straightforward. I believe you got it. I believe in you. Bring this one home, St. Paul's. You can do it as the Death Sentence connects onto LJP. Is this another caster curse? I highly doubt it, as Stvn C is going into the backline. Zedblade also connecting onto a If I Had Flash as well. The ultimate from Leona will miss it. Doesn't matter. Flash flashes, but will fall in the end. Zedblade mix doesn't matter. It is the solar shield that actually pops down the Thresh. So I forget the name of that shield. The solar shield. That's its new name.
Solar shield. Yeah. Actually, I didn't play Leona, so I couldn't tell you. I didn't play Leona or support, so.
One of my best friends mains Leona. I can guarantee you they are yelling at me right now as The best gotcha gets knocked up a bit. Yeah, look at, when this fight is happening at top, peek the camera to the base right now, because this is where the action is. They're going for the game. Aurora connects onto powerpanda. Powerpanda should fall. Nope, it's able to get away, but with no health, will not be able to do much. The second Nexus tower and the first one are so
here
low.
comes the Scion.
And here comes Scion, kaboom, into Olaf. The towers are still there. Finally, the first one falls, the second one falls as well. The Nexus is all but stands. LJP and Mirk are very low health bars, as is Aurora Riven, but there is not much Southport can do. St. Paul's is knocking it down one by one. Ignite helps secure the kill onto a fire flash, and there is your game. St. Paul's legacy moves to continue to be undefeated in this tournament.
Such a great game they played by SPS. The Jinx was able to get so far ahead early on. There just wasn't anything that TSS could really do to come back into that game. It was just such a, I think for sure, I think the Vladimir as well played really, really well. I mean, you can't give Vlad the MVP. MVP by far has to be Kooops on that Jinx. Just absolutely hard carried. But the Vladimir made some amazing plays. Well, it wasn't much plays, or more like outplays, because he got caught out a couple of times for a few mistakes. Was able to play them really, really well and be able to not die to that and lose his team the game.
LJP's survivability throughout the course of that game.
It's just Vladimir though, like so
I know
annoying.
it is Vladimir, but like he played it correctly. He sanguine pulled when he had to sanguine pool. He had the Zhonya's pop at the exact right time. So whenever it felt like he was caught, all right, they're finally going to get that kill, finally get the momentum going for him. Pop goes to Vlad, and well. Nope, not today. Now, here comes the rest of our team, because we are able to rotate. As we take a look at some of these highlights, actually, this is the first blood, I believe. Yep, Kooops picks up the first. powerpanda the next with the ignite dropped, and poop. Oh, wait, it was the zap, that's right.
It was the zap. He turned around for the auto on the Riven.
Yep.
If he's, didn't have any abilities up, unfortunately, on the Nico, and was unable to pick up a kill. But if he did an ability up, it would have made sense. But he turned around for the auto, didn't get the kill, unfortunately, and Jinx was able to pick up a double kill. And from there, it was very hard for them to come back into that lane with the Leona being able to just engage fearlessly onto the other two.
Also, I also want to give credit to Mirk's as well on the top side sign. Like, he wasn't the fight. This is going back to what we were saying before. Sometimes you don't need to be the flashiest champion to have the biggest impact. And he still got his moment at the end with that ultimate just connecting on to...
if you're not the carry, don't be the reason your team loses the game. He played the tank role. His role, obviously, that game, they said, look, the carry's the Jinx and the Vladimir. We get team fights, we run at them, we blow them up. And he was able to pick that style, was able to sustain through that lane phase, not give up too much, survive against the Nasus. Because if that Nasus got online, that's a really big thing for TSS. This is a great play here from LPJ.
This is what we were talking about before. LJP, the survivability, buys enough time for the rest of the team to come up. Yeah, this was the team fight that really brought it down. If I had Flash, unfortunately, alone in the front line, misses with the death sentence. The best gotcha was the next one to go down. Mirk showing up to help with that knockup, and CivilPig, unfortunately, unable to get away.
It's a bit of deja vu as well, from the last the game we saw yesterday. Obviously, the Jinx from Chisholm Chiefs was able to just do that in those late game team fights and just absolutely demolish everybody. This Jinx pick is maybe something that's a bit of a recurring theme. Very easy to play. Got a nice little Jinx statue here as well at the front.
Where's
same
our
skin?
Jinx?
Same skin as well.
It was, we have our MVP here today, everyone.
Live in studio.
Star Guardian.
Right in full. You just put it behind the graphic there.
Oh,
but
no.
That's
there it is.
No, of course. So, Chisholm Chiefs, not Chisholm Chiefs, the SPS was able to take out the game to the Jinx in the bot lane. Really well played from their entire squad. They were able to get those CS leads early on and carry. TSS unfortunately was able to take it, was unable to take out the game today, but they gave it a fair crack. They came with a nice split push strategy. They kind of prepared.
I mean, it was a team composition out of it. There was a game plan there. There was a win con. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it off this time. That said, though, there were some things I did like out of the red side in terms of just, they didn't throw. There was no time when it was just like, oh, they're picking a bad fight because they're tilted. Like, they were trying to play as smart as they could. Unfortunately, I think they were just a bit outskilled in this one.
Yeah, they were. Like, I think the biggest thing is for them is just like the...
Take a look at our final team fight right now, actually. This was the one that ended it all. And at this stage, it's your front-to-back team comp playing front-to-back and just picking off the targets.
I mean, I think at that point, there was just too much of a gold lead, too many dragons, too many barons. They just couldn't come back. I do really like that bot lane, though. They bring up the Nico and the Thresh in that bot lane there. It's a really nice, innovative strategy. Very easy to see the synergy between the Tangle Barbs and obviously the Death Sentence as well. Good to get picks. I feel like if they had Ignite in that game and they would have picked up that first call on Leona, I think the game would have changed completely on its head because they would have gotten that first blood gold onto themselves. Then Nico's able to start snowballing because once that Nico gets that Rage Blade and that Blade of the Ruin King, she just absolutely unleashes on everybody. I know I played 2 games of it and I combined KD have like 23, 0, and 4.
It shouldn't be if I only had Flash. It should be if I only had Ignite.
If I only had
Ignite. maybe he could have gone another way. That said, though, I also have to give credit, though, for If I Only Had Flash, because his death sentences, for the most part, were on point.
Really, really good, And as I said, you can't really, that combat bot lane is, so if one of you doesn't land your skill shot CC, the other one can't. So you're so reliant on each other, and the way they're playing off each other was very impressive.
It was very impressive.
And I think that's a good place to build it. And that is also something that's a little bit, I mean, it's not off meta, it is very meta, but for these players that are kind of not used to it as much, you don't really see that kind of stuff. So it was really good to see these players doing that. And that was by far one of my favorite things about TSS, is that little bot lane.
Yeah, that bot lane synergy is just a bit unfortunate that they also were the lane they got snowballed against.
Yeah.
But I think with more practice,
the idea was there.
The idea was there, and like a bit less aggression when behind. Because it didn't matter if they were, 1 or 2 kills down or later 6 kills down. They were still trying to go for those plays. And while, you admire that to a certain extent, at the same time, you have to know when to pull it back a little bit. But that comes with practice. That comes with playing as the team.
Yeah.
Obviously, nerves probably were starting to get to them a little bit, so you can blame that as well as a competitive environment. You had won last week. You want to keep that momentum going. It's like, no, things could be going wrong. You might make a misplay or two, but it's not the end of the world for either of these teams. We're still very early into this tournament.
It's only 3 weeks in. Of course, these teams will probably play each other as well. They keep winning and keep getting better. You will start seeing the same kind of teams play against each other. But it was a great game today. I think, obviously MVP was Kooops on their Jinx today.
Yes, Kooops,
able to get his one trick and really performed and popped off on it. So really good to see him play.
The Super Mega Death Rockets were on point. The Zaps were on point. And the autos were obviously on point. Those are obviously the 3 pew pew pachoos out of Jinx.
Yeah, of course. And unfortunately, it does bring us to the end of our broadcast today. Well, I think everybody from home and watching, and obviously thank you for both the teams to be agreeing to come on stream today. Thanks for University of Queensland for hosting us to do this. And
look at this stage. Again, I have to bring credit to the stage. It's amazing. Thank you, University of Queensland. Look them up if you're interested, in a growing esports scene and, you're graduating this year.
Why wouldn't you come here? You get the opportunity to do this kind of stuff. We have a gaming cafe as well on campus as well. So if you're feeling a bit bored in between class, you got some breaks, you can head over there to the UQU offices and start playing some games during your lunchtime. Make sure you follow them on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, which we actually streamed on today as well. So if you guys are watching on Facebook, thank you guys for watching it that way. Obviously trying to expand everything. So everything you go, just UQU Esports, which is UQU ESPORTS. If you don't know how to spell, that's how you do it. They're on everything from both myself and, of course, Formal here. We thank you guys for tuning in today. And we'll be back live again about 4:45 next week for the week 4 of the broadcast. Yeah, continuing on week 4 next week. We'll announce teams once we realize everything's done. Swiss format. We don't know who's playing yet. Once the results are in, we'll let you know the teams. And hey, could be your school. So get out there and sign up. Thank you. Thank you guys. Good night.